One day, Quacker was thinking. That's right, thinking. What am I going to play? Nothing. I know, I'll play this instead. Hellapagos, the game where everyone's stranded on a desert island and they have to work together to survive until the food starts running out, and then they hoard and kill and maim and kill and maybe even eat each other. That doesn't happen. But anyway, join us as we review Hellapagos, the game where people literally are dying to survive. Nice. Right, so I'm going to do the unboxing for Hellapagos. Right, let's start. I love the box cover. I think it's quite, it's got that sort of anime look, but it's quite sort of in keeping with what happens in the game. Then we've got our booklet, which I would probably recommend just browsing through. Maybe watch the online video instead. That's a little bit more concise and a lot easier to consume. There's a nice, I guess, hemp bag. And then there's a lovely ship, which I'll briefly show you what that does. You've got the balls, which you need for play. You've got some lovely cards, which have various items on there. I like the very kind of cartoonish imagery on there. Then you've got these other cards, which come in handy. Your little boats and boxes. And then you've got this board as well, which I'll just open up to anyone to see. So there for the time being, there we go, there's the board, which is a scoreboard as well as also denotes the survivors and where you keep your cards. And just a note before I go to show you about the boat, is this advertising on the side of the box, which absolutely always irritates the hell out of me. I appreciate they're trying to flaunt additional items, but seriously it kind of takes away from some of the hard work that the artist has done. Just to show you this is obviously so you can see about the boat itself. There's a little explanation thing here which shows you exactly what you do, but I quite like this because I think it's quite fun. You literally do 1, 2, there we go, sorry, I just had to move the camera so I can make you slightly dizzy. There we go, put that in there, if I can get both in there, one-handed, there we go. So that's what it looks like, and the cards, literally this pack of cards here, slot perfectly into there, and it's a nice little touch for the game itself. Anyway, join me as I'll review the game of Hellapagos. So Hellapagos, what to say firstly about the items themselves, the box, the sort of stuff it comes with. All very good. I think that I like the fish touches and they're very good as well. I like the cards. I think the description on the cards is fun and it plays well. Obviously with more players it plays even better than with fewer players, although there are versions of this which you can play a two-player game, but I think it's a little bit kind of disjointed. Then of course you've got the lovely raft cards, which I think probably need a little bit of work. These are brilliant, these are absolutely brilliant, well put together condition cards as well. And this board as well is really nicely done. Box is nice, these little extra components just add to the aesthetic, which is good as well. And then of course you have these as well where players can, if they're sick or if they're dead, they can flag them as well. But also the wooden token, probably should mention the food and the water icon as well, which are small but pretty good as well. I think that it really adds to the aesthetic of the game, and because of that it's quirky enough that it's fun, but also it can be slightly menacing. But all told, I think it's really good, and I'm personally a massive fan of this. I think this is a really good use of a product just to really facilitate a feel and ambience for what you're playing. Anyway, I'll do the review next, and join me for that. Interestingly, already this season we've had a game about evolution and evolutionary theory, which is used by Oxford to discuss evolution and how basically it works, how the theory of evolution works and how we adapt and survive to our environment. Hellapagos is basically that in a game theory setting. If anyone knows biological game theory or game theory, then you'll know it's basically the idea of, well, the essential idea of tit for tat. So basically, if someone does something to you, you will basically reciprocate, if it's good or bad. And that's basically what happens in Hellapagos. It's really a co-op game, and if you manage your resources properly, food and water, and everyone else goes along with the same theory or the same motivation, the same goal, you can work together pretty much uniformly to get your rafts built and to get the hell off the island. It does break down towards the end, and that's where it gets fun, is after 3 or 4 or 5, normally 5 rounds, suddenly when water, particularly water, starts depleting, suddenly people start turning on each other and people become slightly more unable to engage because they're looking at the end game. It does say it takes 20 minutes. I think that, to be honest with you, the more players you get, actually that can extend to half an hour or 45 minutes. I have seen games with this run for 40 minutes because sometimes people play cards and then they play multiple of cards, and it becomes a case of a lot of people, especially if you're playing 7 players, it becomes a lot of people playing cards against each other, and that adds to the confusion. Plus also the voting can be slightly chaotic. But I think it works. I think as a game it's brilliant. I think it's one of those games that reflects real life, but also allows people to explore options. And if you play as a team, and this is an essential point I wanted to make, if you play as a team, you'll enjoy it as much as if you play it as a mercenary, if you play it singular, as your own sort of tit for tat, my own goal. Overall, this is a brilliant game. Certainly though, I'd recommend you have to play it with up to 5 people to start with, and then you can take it above that. 12 people is too many. I do think it's slightly chaotic with 12 people, especially voting, but overall it's very good. And the other thing about 12 people is, to be perfectly frank, that what generally happens is 2 people will get knocked out, and then it'll take a while for other people to get knocked down. It becomes slightly boring because those people have to sit on the sidelines. The best experience I had was 5 people. So that was Game Club. This is Hellapagos, and this is Simon. Thank you for watching.